Hi, Óscar. So, can you tell me a little bit about what the main topic of your work is?
Oh, wonderful. Good morning. Welcome to Portland State. My name is Óscar Fernández. I am a scholar, I guess, of representations of disease in Latin American literature. So my trade is comparative literature. So I look at how the representation of disease in literature, mostly in Spanish, dovetails with misogyny, sexism, transphobia, homophobia.
Oh, interesting. And yesterday you also told me a little bit about that you teach on immigration, right?
That's
Can
correct.
you tell me a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, so I teach in university studies, what we call essential studies at Portland State University. And I teach a year-long course with an interdisciplinary focus on immigration. So I'm with our freshman students, first-year students, for 3 terms, which is 30 weeks at PSU. And we tackle immigration from different disciplines, but also by honoring the life experiences that the students bring to the classroom.
And in the field of your research, what research still needs to be undertaken, do you think?
In terms of immigration?
Yes, and also in literary studies, how disease is being perceived, conceptualized.
Right. Well, in terms of tackle one at a time, I would say in terms of immigration, as the political climate continues to unfold here in the United States, one thing that I'm doing at Portland State is being the advisor for DACA and DREAMer students. So those are students who came here.
What does DACA stand for?
Deferred Action. You may have childhood arrivals.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And so these are students whose family came to the United States and they're here, quote unquote, illegally. And I'm the advisor at Portland State for our Dream DACA student club. Those students experience a lot of isolation. And so my job with them is to provide this relational model that this conference is based on. Not just provide resources. Like if you have questions about financial aid, which they cannot apply for federal loans, what kind of relational model can I present to the students? So I go to meetings, we laugh, we cry, which is something unusual in the context of a university where professors are just providing knowledge, or here's the research center for if you're suffering illness or stress, or here's the gym, or here's the library. So the relational model means, that I have to be as well vulnerable with them. And be sad, be happy, be joyful with them as well.
And what did you take from this conference then on precarity? Because that is very apt then in the context of establishing these relationships, I assume.
Well, I think students are great teachers, right? The students are the ones who are teaching us about their precarious lives. One example, of course, being our DACA and DREAMer students. They have to work several jobs. They don't have access necessarily to federal loans, so they're paying their way. There is the fear that day to day they might be deported, or if not them, their relatives, right? So that's the day-to-day fear that some of our DACA and DREAMer students face here in Portland, Oregon, and I would say in the United States.
And in your field of literary studies, that you mentioned at the start of the interview, what if you could have a magic wand? What do you dream about? What would happen in that field for your own research, or in general?
Yeah. Well, I would love for our research to connect more with our students. So asking our queer and trans students, and I use the queer and trans term as an umbrella term for lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, and allies, for them to continue to feel more at home in our universities, in our classrooms. We learn from our queer and trans students at PSU that some of our professors still have a hard time honoring their names, honoring their pronouns. So I would love for that not to be a thing in the past when a person A says my pronouns is them or that we just smoothly go through it. I would love for our conversation not to be grammatological, that there's a he, there's a she, and that we cannot use a plural for a singular human being.
Wonderful. Lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.